So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days.
The ad claims that if you're elected president, you will ban fracking and you will cost Pennsylvania over 300,000 jobs.
So let me start by saying that ad, as you described it, is absolutely a mischaracterization.
What?
Former President Trump says that you've had 4 years as vice president to do all the things you've promised in the campaign, but haven't done it.
Nigga! Help me!
So let's start with this. I think that the former president is really.
You do.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about this Kamala Harris interview with CBS. Yes, another Kamala interview. She's trying desperately to catch up with J.D. Vance and Teflon Don in terms of public appearances, coming out and having interviews unscripted. But Kamala Harris is just not up to snuff. Okay, this lady is a dummy fool. As a matter of fact, just today at her rally, her teleprompter broke and she made a damn fool of herself.
Remember his number, 32. Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it. And this is going to be a very tight race until the very end. We are the underdog, and we know we have some hard work ahead.
This lady clearly cannot handle impromptu conversations. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to say. She has to practice. And then the second you take her off her game and give her something new that she hasn't practiced and isn't prepared for it, and she's like, what? Like she made the Tim Walz face. Like the shock. Like the little stupid behind dumb ass faces he's making during that VP debate. Yeah, she makes stupid faces like that when she doesn't know what to do and she starts saying dumb stuff. As you can see, 32, like different tone, 32. Like this lady is an idiot. Without further ado, let's get into this interview where she makes a fool of herself again.
At our factories in this region, it's very plentiful and cheaper than oil. And we extract natural gas through fracking. So I wanted to ask you, there's a political ad on TV from a 2019 Climate Hall town meeting that you had, in which you basically said, quote, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking," unquote. The ad claims that if you're elected president, you will ban fracking and you will cost Pennsylvania over 300,000 jobs. Have you changed your view on fracking? And if so, why?
So let me start by saying that ad, as you described it, is absolutely a mischaracterization that I think is intended to make people afraid of my presidency.
Well, yeah, it's because they should be afraid because they know that you're lying. Play the clip.
Thank you. My family lives in western Pennsylvania, where fracked gas wells have become a common sight, yet the toxic impacts of fracking on the community are immense, from contaminated groundwater to poisonous emissions. Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office, adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah, so thank you.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes, and I've, again, worked on that.
This lady just can't be trusted. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. There's no way we could trust Kamala Harris on an issue like this, because she's even said herself her values have not changed.
My values have not changed. My values have not changed.
If her values haven't changed, you know what that means? That means instead of just outright banning it, maybe she does other stuff like, you know, have less leases. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of evidence out there that suggests that's exactly what the Harris-Biden administration has done. They haven't drilled as much. They have less oil leases than in past administrations.
Absolutely clear, as I've been when I said it back in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I did not as vice president. In fact, I cast the tie-breaking vote to open up more fracking leases. And my perspective on this is...
Yeah, I mean, you can open up some, but how many compared to the previous administrations? So, like, just because you say that you have done a little bit of something doesn't mean that you support what you're actually doing. That's like saying that, well, now you've closed the border back, but you had the border open before intentionally. So it's like you're kind of trying to play both sides, and I don't think people are buying it.
So that's where I stand, period. As President of the United States, I will not ban fracking. I did not as Vice President of the United States. And frankly, I think some of those ads are misleading intentionally to suggest to folks that they should be afraid.
What do you think you're doing with Project 2025, something that Donald Trump himself is not even associated with? You guys are literally leading by fear, and that's all you talked about during the entire DNC. The majority of your campaign rallies do the same thing. Trump, Project 2025, voting rights, women's rights. You get people scared like hell just so they could not vote and support you, but so they can vote against Donald Trump.
Former President Trump says that you've had 4 years as vice president to do all the things you've promised in the campaign, but haven't done it. Is he right, or did President Biden not give you or limit it in some way your role as vice president?
Look at her face. She knows she's guilty. You look, I know I've dealt with a lot of people in my life, and it's the exact face that they make when they're caught, when they're busted, and when they're getting ready to lie their ass off. Kamala Harris does not have a good poker face. She's going to lose poker every time. You're always going to know what hand she has because she doesn't have the poker face. She can't keep a straight face to save her life. She's a cackler. Though all them bubbly types, they don't have no type of freaking poker face. You catch them doing any and every damn thing.
Vice President.
So let's start with this. I think that the former president is really becoming quite desperate, and has really been offering a lot of misstatements and misinformation. And perhaps it's because he wants to distract from the fact that he has offered no plan for the American people.
You're literally in office right now. She didn't answer the question.
I have talked about this before. I invite you to go to his rallies, and what you'll hear about full time is him talking about himself and his personal grievances, but what you won't hear him talking about is you and the needs that you have as a working person, as a family person.
I watch like almost every single Trump rally, like 99% of them. So like 1% of them I don't watch. And as if something catastrophic is going on. And what he talks about is closing the border, drill baby drill, no men and women's sports, and getting this economy back on track. That's all he talks about every single time. What the hell is Kamala Harris talking about?
My plan is about building an opportunity economy where I'm going to give first-time home buyers a $25,000.
Kill me, I'm here! Kill me! Kill me, I'm here! Come on! Do it now! Kill me!
And Kamala Harris, everything she's talking about is just giving away more money, which creates more inflation, and then raise the prices up even more. So this dummy, if elected, is just going to add to the problem. She's actively telling everybody that she's going to add to the problem that she's created to begin with.
To start up businesses, to our small businesses, knowing that they are part of the backbone of America's economy. Those are my plans. And I think that, unfortunately, what we've got on the other side is someone who wants to distract from the fact that his plan is about giving billionaires and big corporations a tax break like he did the last time, and doing that again.
I got a tax break too, and I can assure you I'm not a billionaire or a millionaire. Okay, I got a tax break too, and guarantee you, so did you. Everybody got a tax break. That's the part that Kamala Harris conveniently leaves out for some reason. The Democrats never gave us a tax break like that. Donald Trump did. Fancy that.
But you would acknowledge that as vice president, you can't do the things that you can do as president.
Well, absolutely. There's only one president of the United States. But I have been very excited to spend time in Pittsburgh and in Pennsylvania. I was just in Pittsburgh actually talking about my economic plan.
Okay.
And but to spend time in Pittsburgh and in the rest of the
Okay, she's just deflecting now. Joe Biden literally today threw her under the bus, saying that, yeah, I mean, she had plenty of power. He's made this statement several times now, including again today.
There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days, with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
Guys, like, oh my God. Kamala Harris, this lady's voice is like making me sick to my stomach just listening to her dribble every day, trying to expose her, all these radical leftists. I ain't gonna lie, it is annoying just listening to some of these tyrannical leftists, the gaslighting, the nonsense, the non-answers, the blaming Trump for everything. This dude ain't even in office and they still managing to like blame him for everything. This is like the most dumbest, stupidest stuff that I've ever seen. I understand people not in office can have an impact, but for crying out loud, Trump is not even in any government position. Stop talking about Trump. Like, it's so annoying. What the hell are you gonna do? I think that's why the only strategy that this lady has is offer up a bunch of free stuff and money, hide from like hell from everybody, and now she's finally starting to come out, but she still like hides from the press. She definitely doesn't take anything impromptu, anything that's unplanned, unscheduled. She ain't doing it. And then blame Trump. Okay, make up lies about Trump. Project 2025, dictator on day one. Find people on both sides. Suckers and losers, they will say and lie about any and everything. Bipartisan border bill that came in 2023. Meanwhile, the border was open in 2021, 2022, and in 2023. They didn't close it again until 2024. How the hell does anybody believe Kamala Harris in regard to the border? Like, you seriously got to have some mental illness, some issues upstairs if you believe that the Democrats are serious about border security? That's just pure stupidity and foolishness. And I really don't even think that even this channel, for as much as I try to educate here, can save them. Anyway, guys, this interview was really short. It was 10 minutes. And even in this interview, even though this guy did ask her some follow-ups, she still manages to just dodge and avoid and deflect. I mean, this is Kamala Harris for you guys. If she's doing this now, then best believe that if elected, this is exactly the same thing she's going to do too. Well, why didn't you pass reparations? It's Donald Trump's fault. It's not my fault. I didn't have enough power. The Republican Congress wouldn't do it. Well, how come you didn't strengthen the economy? The Republicans got in the way. You got to vote for us again. It's always going to be the same thing with these hacks. It's always going to be the Republicans' fault. It's going to be Donald Trump's fault, but not my fault. It's never going to be their fault. These people make excuses for everything. Like, anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I hope everybody's having a great weekend so far and have a happy, I'm trying to get this out before the end of the night. It's going to be, I got to go quick, but look, hope everybody has a great weekend. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Kamala is mentally impaired.
Our country is being destroyed by stupid people.
Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. She's dumb.